Hello there, and welcome to K&K Play D&D. Hello there, and welcome to you.
And I'm the first K, the Keith, and this is Anna
and I'm the second K, Karin.
And this is Anna and Mokana, number 22.
And I'm the second K, Karin.
And this episode is brought to you by...
And I'm the second K, Karin.
Let's get those dice rolling.
Right, so previously on K&K Play D&D.
Yeah.
Is that all you're gonna say in this entire intro?
No. I will say other things, like we got out of the sewers. And I met me.
Both of these are good things.
Milosh stood on water.
How did you know about that? I'm permanently traumatized.
Yeah, me too.
You know what song I have in my head right now?
What's that?
Ba 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 da da da. Woo-hoo! Celebrate good times. Come on.
Yes! Celebrate great times because walking into the palace is a dragon disguised as a human. Not only that, he's disguised as the High Priest of Samek, Paulo Fiertaker.
Anna takes a moment and prays a little bit just to see what is happening and just to determine whether or not she should be freaking out.
The others of the troop, minus Tarur, have gone on ahead a little bit, but have stopped and realized that the two of you have paused there in this plaza and have turned back to you. A couple questioning glances among themselves. Tarur is staring into the palace. Probably the muscles of his jaw are tightening a bit. He doesn't think very highly of the person he saw.
I don't care quite as much as Anna. Mostly I'm just worried what she's going to do.
Mm-hmm. And she is staring at the gates as well. A little bit differently than you.
You seeing what I'm seeing? Please don't rush in and, confront him.
Right, I agree. That would be unwise.
Glad we're on the same page.
Oh, are we going to go into battle?
No.
Oh, all right then. I will not prepare myself to eviscerate people.
Yeah, if I've learned one thing, it's that we should always be prepared to eviscerate.
Oh, then I will prepare myself then. I am prepared.
That didn't take you long, I can't help but notice.
Well, as we are trained to be priests and clerics of Taf Teth, we must always be vigilant and ready to eviscerate when needed.
Now, I'm not judging. I wouldn't judge. But as a monk, that seems a kind of funny thing for a priest to be prepared for.
Is it? I am a priest of life and death. I heal and kill as necessary.
Who decides what's necessary?
That is a very good question.
Aye, what if you get it wrong?
Normally it is evil that deems it, or necessitates it, or requires it.
And who decides what's evil?
How do you know what is evil?
Well, half the time I don't.
That is a shame.
It also explains a little bit.
Are we just going to stay here, or are we going to try to see the Lady General?
Oh, we're going to see her.
Yeah?
Yes.
Is everything all right?
No.
Should I be prepared to do something for my Grandmaster Lord Tarur?
You should be prepared to do something for yourself.
Oh, and what should that be?
Be prepared to run, depending on how this goes.
Oh?
Oh,
Do you know something that I do not?
yes.
I'm sure you do. You know lots of things that I might not, and I probably know a few things that you do not.
Undoubtedly, yes.
Well, it is a good thing we are allies.
Yes.
I will stand by my great master, Lord Tarur, the Pumbaa of everything I hold dear, by his side through thick and thin.
I appreciate that.
You are most certainly and humbly welcome. And Milosh bows very, very deeply to you, Tarur, practically folding in half.
I nod awkwardly. Mostly I'm thinking about the fact that Paolo Fjord-Tucker is here, though.
That is a good thought. And Anna?
There's a dragon dressed as the High Priest of Samek. There are so many different reasons that could be, and I don't like any of them.
What are you gonna do?
We're going to go see the Lady General.
All right. So the collection of you head off towards the side door that you entered last time. So you lot go around the building to the north side where there is a side entrance and a couple guards are standing there. They stiffen at the sight of you. Halt and state your business.
We are here to see the Lady General,
And you are?
Lieutenant Anna Tiscara.
Is that name on the list? Yeah. Do you have an appointment?
She told us to come see her when our assignment had been completed.
Oh. Is that right?
I mean, that's what she does. So I unlock the door.
Right. Oh, okay. So the guard fumbles with a key and opens the door for you.
Excellent, thank you.
Very good. Have a good meeting.
I appreciate that, thank you.
And how about your people do history checks to see if you remember how to get to her office?
Karen remembers.
Karen does? Oh, good.
Tara does not.
On a might, that's a 13. Dorn, I'm assuming, doesn't. Seastone does. Seastone remembers very well how to get there.
All right.
Seastone, I'm just going to point this out. He's proficient in history, so he got a 24.
Seastone and Anna lead you all down this hallway into this antechamber, up a flight of stairs, and then around bend down a hallway to the northwestern corner of the building, and there's a door. It's closed at the moment, but it has the Lady General's name on it. Come in. Come in.
Anna lets herself in, with the entourage trailing behind.
The Lady General is behind her desk at the moment. She looks up at all of you come in. Ah, you have returned. She rises. She gives you a salute, Anna.
I salute back.
Please have a seat and debrief me on your adventure.
Anna briefly describes, in the barest details, their encounters until she talks about the necromancer himself when she changes a couple details just so that he didn't know her. And he was defeated so completely that there are no remains left.
Roll me a performance check.
That's not going to be bad for her, you know. 24.
Natural 22. Awesome. That is quite the tale. I am glad it is dealt with, and you do have my deep thanks for this. And my sincere condolences on the loss of Brother Maximus.
Thank you.
He was a good cat.
One of the best, yes.
Yes. Well, it is done. Thank you. the necromancer is dealt with, and the sewers have been cleared out.
And now Mokana can turn its attention to more pressing matters.
Yes, indeed, indeed. This news, your report, comes at a very appropriate time. The council will be meeting shortly, and I will advise and cast my vote that we will stand with the Winter King.
I appreciate that. I do believe that you will find it harder to persuade people than you might have anticipated.
Lady General cocks her head and raises an eyebrow. And what insight do you have on this matter?
Only that as we arrived today, we saw somebody coming in the guise of the High Priest of Samek.
The High Priestess here.
You know him.
Yes, I do. He has been... Yes, I do know of him. I've met him a couple times.
So have I. Just before Duska City was destroyed, in fact.
Still a shame that city has been decimated by the dragon.
Indeed. I don't think that you'll find Paolo Fiertaker as you have found him in the past.
What causes you to say that, Lieutenant?
I don't believe that it is Paolo Fiertaker. I believe that it is somebody taking his form.
Roll charisma.
19.
Oh, that is interesting. Very interesting. What evidence do you have on this?
Only my own eyes.
You saw someone dressing like him and donning a disguise.
No, my goddess has gifted me with true sight. If a demonic or monstrous creature takes the form of any humanoid, I will be able to tell.
Lady General Tassi leans back a bit. I have heard of relics that give this ability. I have heard of the True Sight spell, and you are telling me that you have this.
Yes.
And you saw a creature disguised as Paolo Fiertaker.
Yes.
What manner of creature, do I dare ask?
Not one that I think anyone on your council is likely to be able to resist. This is an ancient creature with deep magic. And physical strength beyond that of any person that I have seen in this city.
You are being awfully cryptic, Lieutenant.
I do not wish to cause panic.
She's inciting panic in her own crew, all of whom have gone like really, really still. Seastone's tail is like, it's like just floofed out.
Lieutenant, I am about to go down into that chamber where this disguised creature is.
Yes, I know.
I would like to know what I will be sharing a room with.
All right. You will be sharing a room with a dragon and some sort of demonic assistant or companion. They walked together, one dressed as the priest and the other, I'm not sure, a noble or a trader of some kind. I did not recognize him in his ostensibly human form.
This is not good news. Dragon and another monstrous creature in the hall. Will you be attending the meeting?
I did not have permission. I might remind you that as you told us, Seabrook is of little consequence to Mokana, and our help was tolerated rather than welcomed.
Using my own words against me.
You were the one who spoke them.
Yes, I did. Seeing that a paladin, officer paladin from the seaside town can And seeing that an officer paladin from the seaside town has true sight, and warns that there is a dragon in the room with the leaders of Mokana.
I understand that you have no reason to believe me.
I do not.
I might be able to help with that.
Yes, sir.
If you give me like just a second, I'll be able to tell if there's a dragon in a perimeter.
Give me a moment. You are a ranger.
I have been described as that, yes.
You are going to be using the primeval awareness skill that you have learned as a ranger, yes?
That's a really cool thing to call it. Yeah, I just always call that like concentrating for a minute.
I will join you.
Sure, yeah, no, yeah, sure.
Have a seat with me here.
Yeah, absolutely. Be happy to.
Now I'm going to do a call as the DM. Since it's two rangers doing this primeval awareness together, it will take half as long, and they will share the sense together.
Cool.
So the two of you, Tarur and Lady General, spend 30 seconds expending a spell slot, and within a mile of your location here in her office, you are sensing for dragons, any presence of dragons, not dragonborn, not half-dragon, not kobolds. You're looking for dragons. And you both get a ping down in the council chamber.
Oh yeah, that's real close.
Yes, that is...
That's a different one than I felt before.
I've not felt that before.
Yeah, it's a weird feeling, isn't it?
It is...
All of a sudden you're aware of just how little you matter to the cosmos and the universe in general, and your own mortality, and how you could die at any moment, and just a snap of a finger, like crushed beneath somebody's thumb, and that, really, you're just a candle being snuffed out, and you're just this small existence.
That is not where I was going to go.
Oh, really? Sorry. That was just... I made an assumption.
But that is, very philosophical for you, Master Dragonborn. Well, Lieutenant, I trust your perception now. The dragon is masquerading as Paulo Fiertalker, you say?
Yes, at least when I saw it.
And it went through the main doors.
Yes.
We will assume that he is still Fiertalker unless I learn otherwise.
And he's not alone, I will remind you.
Yes, indeed. Would you and your companions do the honor of joining me in the council chamber?
Due respect, I have no idea what you expect us to do with a dragon.
Good sir, I do not know what to expect of myself with a dragon in such close proximity as well.
I mean, if I had to guess, I'd say that probably all of us lose our heads at some point. Dragons are really good at, mind games, aren't they? Like climbing inside your head and changing your mind and things. That's what I've heard.
Well, as the Master Dragonborn here so eloquently put earlier, life is short.
Aye, if we're gonna die, we might as well make a big splash of it, eh?
Oh, yes. Just like what we did down below.
Milosh, do you have anything that could help in this sort of situation?
There is very little I could do at this point, but I could call in your army, my great Master Lord General Tarur.
I don't think that we call anybody in until we know what we're up against and know if he's actually aggressive.
Oh, of course.
I think it would not be amiss to have them ready to mobilize.
I can easily do that. He turns his gauntlet over and there's the skull on his right hand, and he presses it and there's this soft click. They have been warned, and they are preparing themselves.
I appreciate it, Milosh.
Would you like me to scry on this person to see what I can ascertain about them?
If it is a dragon, they'll be able to tell.
That is very astute of you, my wise and merciful Grand Master Lord Tarur.
Did you get a look at his companion? The guy with him?
I do not know, but I will do a history check to see if I did. I got a 16.
That's not bad, my friend.
I do vaguely remember a wealthier type person walking next to a priest, yes.
Maybe we scry on him.
I can do that.
Again, though, just like with a dragon, depending on the type of demon that it is, it might be able to tell. That would only put Milosh in danger.
I am not afraid of demons, or monsters, or dragons.
Right, but it would make our jobs a lot harder if you died.
That is true. I do not want to die yet. I still have much to do to serve my Grand Master Lord Tarur, like calling his army to serve him and destroy his enemies.
Right, there's a lot that all of us would like to do before we die, I reckon. So, it's a calculated risk. Anna, can you describe the creature? It had a head of some sort of carnivorous creature with long tusked teeth, a larger lower jaw than upper. It had horns on its head that swept backwards, like a tiefling, maybe, or an antelope. It had 4 arms, 2 of which were massive, and they ended like a scorpion's pincers. 2 of which were smaller, but looked cruelly clawed. It stood strong on taloned feet. No tail that I could tell, but certainly not of this realm. I have no idea what it would normally be called. Do any of us remember this, or have any sort of inkling of what it could be for any reason?
I would need you to do religion checks.
Religion, hey? Perfect. These are excellent rolls. That's a 4 for Tarur. He has no idea. That's a modified 21 for Dorn. And that's a 13 for Seastone.
Well, I will not roll your 3 NPCs who are there, because
Dorn.
Yes, Dorn, you somehow know what this creature is.
There are stories out on the water, open water. People see things. People start telling stories of other people who've seen things on shore leave, in strange places, and so on. I've heard of this one before.
It's a demon.
It's definitely demonic.
It is a glabrezu.
It's a glabrezu, as I recall. I heard about it somewhere deep south, down south of the Elven lands. It was the last time that I heard anybody bring a story of it. We should avoid fighting it if we can, especially if there's a dragon around. It would be hard to win against, even with all of us working together. Even on its own, it wouldn't be a savory creature to meet in a dark alley, if you know what I mean.
Yes, given the description that the lieutenant gave us. We do not know what they may be plotting.
I think it's fairly easy to imagine what they're plotting.
They are most likely in league with Alisonsko.
Unless it is Alisonsko.
What color dragon was it?
Red. So was the wormling that we fought outside of Duska City.
Then it could very easily be Alisonsko.
Or who knows how many children he has.
Indeed. It is time I make my presence known down in the council hall. You all are welcome to join, and you would be my honored guests there.
We'll come with you. We will come in separate parties, however. It might be better if, gods forbid, this dragon was the Palofjordtalker that we met in Duska. It would be better if he didn't realize who was associated with us.
That would be wise. And I will see you down there.
We'll see you shortly.
She bows her head slightly and then exits the office before you and makes her way through the palace to where she needs to be.
Tarur pulls aside. His brain is spinning.
Anna, do you, how many times a day can you do that? The thing where you talk to people who are far away from you.
The spell, you mean, from the glaive?
Yeah, that's the one. How often can you do that?
I don't know, I think twice.
Then could you send a message to Frankie for me?
Sure, yes.
Could you just tell her if Kale contacts her to tell him I love him?
You don't think we're going to die here today?
Well, I mean, we could. We definitely could.
My Lord Tarur, I will protect you.
Against a dragon?
Yes,
Tell me, have you fought dragons before, Milosh?
I have fought wyverns and 1 or 2 wormlings and a half-dragon, dragonborn,
But
a
no-
dragon turtle.
But no dragons.
Not yet. I do look forward to the chance to add that to my dragon fighting list.
Okay, so the difference between fighting a wormling and a full-grown, wily, had plenty of time to be alive to learn things dragon is the difference between a kobold and a wormling.
That does sound very exciting.
Exciting is one word.
It is a good word that I like to use when things are very exciting, because it describes the excitement of the situation.
I think what our friend's getting at here is that he's got a son at home, and he's scared.
He does have a son, and his son is most blessed.
And he's scared because if he dies, there's no one to take care of his son.
Then I will protect Tarur.
I think what he's getting at is you might not be able to.
But I have an army.
Yeah.
He has an army.
Right, they're not here.
No, they are just outside the walls.
How are they here already?
We serve the gods of journeys.
Somebody should tell the Lady General. They're going to think that Mokana's under attack.
I will go tell her.
No, it's fine. I'll go tell her.
I could go. I can sneak to wherever she is and let her know.
I don't like losing sight of any of you.
I will be back.
All right. Hurry.
Yeah. And True races out.
And the squad decides how they're going to split up for going into the chambers. Tarur and Anna will go together. Seastone and Dorn will go together as representatives of Seabrook. True is going to sneak in as unnoticed as possible by herself. And Milosh will walk in boldly.
Will just be Milosh.
Will just be Milosh. Just another dude attending a council meeting. They're public. So he's gonna go there in all of his heavy plate armored glory. He looks like an army man, maybe.
She got an 18 for self.
Good grief.
It's good enough.
Yeah.
The 5 of you go back outside, and then you enter in separately. Let's start with Dorn and Seastone entering into the chamber.
We make no pretense. We do not attempt to be stealthy. We are just concerned citizens coming to a parliament meeting, listening in, perhaps making our views known if the occasion calls for it, but, in the form of cheers and boos. But mostly, just there to keep an eye out.
Okay. Session has not started yet. The 2 of you enter in, and it's A very large space. You go up a flight of stairs as you enter the building. There are the palace guards guarding the entrances. Then you enter through these giant doors, 2 stories tall, 5 feet thick, 10 feet wide, and they're open. And they lead 7 steps down into this wide open room. There is seating along the edges around the sides for people to observe, but there is a horseshoe-shaped table in the center for the council members, and towards the very back of this massive chamber are 2 thrones on a dais, and all their chairs are empty at this point. The room is slowly filling with people.
All right.
It's not going to be a full house, just to let you know. It's not a full house, but there are concerned citizens of the realm there, or people who just have nothing better to do than to sit in on a normal parliament session.
Right. It's not like it's anything in particular or anything special. So I anticipate that, as we look around, we see a lot of folks that look retired or unemployed or rich.
Yes.
Those are, or just kind of like the go-get-em types that are just trying to do their duty as a citizen, bring awareness of particular issues. But I don't anticipate that we're going to see anybody who recognizes me. And I don't think that Seastone's going to get more than just a few curious glances. He's a monk.
Why don't the 2 of you give me perception checks, and we'll see what you guys see.
All right. A monkey went to see to see, but he could see. Did you say perception?
Yes, I did.
All right. 25. Natural 20. That'll be a 27 for me.
All right, you 2, given what just happened in Lady General Tossie's office and the things that you learned, you enter the chamber. Everything I described earlier stands out to you, but you also notice most of the people in this room are human and elven descent.
Right. That makes sense. I'll fit right in.
You fit right in. Our Tabaxi friend here does get a couple curious glances, but is soon written off. It's mostly wealthy type people here. They're conversing amongst themselves or choosing where they're going to sit and with whom. There's not much going on. There is a lot of conversing, but no one seems to be coming up to you 2.
That's fine and to be expected.
What part of the room do you guys think you'll sit in? The north or the south? Those are the 2 sides.
Are these like mezzanines? Are they like bleachers? Are they like theater seating?
It is more like theater seating.
All right. We'll choose somewhere vaguely in the middle-ish towards the front.
Okay.
On the north side.
All right. Let us switch over to Anna and Tarur.
Yes.
You 2 wait till your Seabrook friends enter the room.
We wait until they have been seated for some time.
Okay. And you guys enter together. You go through the main entrance. The guards do cast the 2 of you some curious looks.
I imagine they would. We are both fully armed.
And you have your rank and your holy symbol out. You cut a very fine figure, especially with that glaive. But they make no moves to stop you. You enter the chamber, you go through the giant doors and down the steps into the actual chamber. Why don't the 2 of you give me perception checks?
All right. 14. 17.
The room is as I described it to your 2 friends earlier. There are people milling about, conversing. You do see Paulo Fiertaker in there. Anna, it takes you a while to spot him.
Does he appear to have noticed us?
Funny you should ask that. The 2 of you enter this room, you're going down the steps. Your eyes are surveying this new place for you. And you, Anna, are definitely searching out Paulo Fiertaker and his associate. And when your eyes do alight upon him, there is a smile on his face. On both of the faces you see.
A smile of recognition?
Why don't you do an insight check?
Because priests smile all the time.
They do.
Is that an
That's an 18.
18? 22.
It is one of recognition.
I hold his gaze and nod.
And he nods back. It takes you a while longer, but you do see his associate conversing with some other merchant-type people.
Are they down in the parliament? Are they up in the seats? Does it look like he'll be giving the invocation? Does it look like they're just there as observers?
They are in the public seats. Other than that, you can't tell if he's going to be participating or not in the session.
What side of the room are they on?
Paulo Fairtalker is on the south side. The merchant is on the north side.
Well, that's not great. I'll lead onto the south side, but like higher up, like behind him.
Okay. That sounds wise. Could you two give me... how about you four give me a quick perception check to see if you notice True?
No.
Maybe that's a 16.
Dorn is pleasantly distracted. I probably do. I'm used to finding her. That's a 21 for me.
That's a 23 stealth.
Oh, dang, girl.
So True slides in like the shadow she is. She sits behind her Seabrook friends
On which side?
on the north side, behind you two.
All right.
Somewhere back there.
I trust that she's around in the room. Maybe she's up in the rafters. I spend some time studying them.
As I take my seat, I use thaumaturgy and cause a little meowing in Seastone's ear.
My ear twitches a little bit. I turn.
I wave my fingers at him.
I give her a finger.
I give him two,
Right, so our friend is here.
and I walk into the room. I smile at the guards, and they blanch at the sight of me. I do not understand why. I am in my full regalia, with the emblems of Taf and Teth on my cape. I come in full glory, representing those who I represent. And I walk into the room. I stand in the doorway, smiling. And then I move to the south side, and I take my seat just a few down from the great Grand Master Lord Tarur, the one whom I serve. But not everyone knows that yet.
I avoid eye contact.
I stare ahead into the Parliament session, waiting to do something fun.
I hope we don't have to do anything fun. I nod to Milosh. We're both in our full plate armor with our weapons out, with our ranks on display. It makes sense that we would acknowledge each other's presence.
Of course, I give Lieutenant Paladin Anna a bow. It is a very honorable thing that I do for her.
At this point, the back door to the chamber opens, and the Parliament Council members enter. They're led by a human woman, somewhere in her 40s, long jet black hair, very polished looking black skin. She is wearing these rich robes over her gowns, and she has a thick chain and emblem hanging down to her mid-chest. She walks head held high, shoulders back, to the center chair and sits.
Do I recognize her emblem?
Roll history.
That's intelligence.
Yes.
18.
Yes, you do. It is the symbol of Mokana with a wreath of holly around it. And that is the royal house's symbol. This lady is Ursula von Bragdon. She is the lead council member, but she is also the princess, sister of the current king. Behind her comes the Lady General. She is also wearing her parliament robes, and she takes her seat next to the princess. And behind her comes a high elf man. He is over 6 feet tall, very angular, very pale with sharp green eyes and long silver hair. He also is wearing ceremonial robes, but they have more of an elven flair to it. Behind him comes a dwarf man. Thick black hair and beard streaked through with auburn. He has iron beads woven into it, and he is not wearing any robes. He's wearing hardy clothes, as if he just stepped out of a forge. Next comes another human woman. She has a Mediterranean look about her. She, on her robes, has the symbol of Mokana on it. And she smiles politely to the public gathered there. Then the last 2 people to enter is a half-elf man, pale skin as well, shoulder-length copper hair, and he's broad-looking. He doesn't have the robes as well. He's dressed as a former laborer or merchant, just nicer quality clothes. And the last one is a wood elf. Shorter than the other 2 full elves there. He has nut-brown skin. His head is fully shaven. He's slightly overweight, and he's dressed like a priest. On his robes are the symbols of all of the builders, and they all take their seats. They converse amongst each other quietly, waiting for the session to come to order. If you guys want to do a perception check or insight check on these 7, you can do that real quick.
I reckon that would make sense for Dorn and me. We have, well, Dorn especially has a little bit more understanding of who they are. And I have a good understanding of just people in general. So this would be a perception or an insight?
Let's do insight.
That's not, I was going to say that's not as good for me, but actually I'm proficient in them both, so. Yeah, that'll do. That's a 24 for me.
Nice, nice.
That's terrible for me. I rolled a natural 1, which is a total of 8.
Seastone, what are you trying to ascertain by watching them enter the room? What are you trying to learn about the rulers of Mokana here?
I want to see if there's any obvious infighting, or if there's any obvious, places where there's rivalry and discord. And I want to see if any of them look particularly nervous, and if any of them look over at Palofjordtaker. I'm not sure how much you'll give me for 24.
Okay, 24 is a good roll.
I thought so.
Yeah. The last one to enter the room, the priest. He looks nervous.
He's the wood elf priest?
He is the wood elf priest. There's a slight sheen to his bald pate as he takes his seat. His eyes are darting around a bit. And you do notice there's a widening to his eyes as he sees Palofjordtaker.
Does he interact at all with any of the other members?
Only when he's spoken to.
And, does he seem to notice Anna and Milosh?
He does notice them. He looks shocked to see a cleric of Taf Teth, but he nods. He is the representative of all the builders' priests to the council.
He has plenty of reason to be nervous, I would say.
Mm-hmm.
Does he seem to notice anybody on our side? Not necessarily us, but anybody in particular on this side?
You can't quite tell.
I wonder if he thinks that Anna and Milosh are with Palofjordtaker.
That's possible.
I'm assuming that's who the guy is who's in the priest robes across from us.
That's a good assumption, yes.
I got really distracted because I was trying to imagine all the ways that I could call Sandra May in, and I wondered if she could find her way. So I got distracted from watching the people for a minute.
That's okay. Anna and Tarur, are you guys going to make insight checks or anything?
Absolutely.
Anna, your voice changed.
That was not Anna.
That was definitely not.
That was just Karin.
Oh, okay.
Insight, hey?
Mm-hmm.
I also got a natural 1. Mostly I'm focused on Fjordtaker and his companion across the way from us. I'm trying to look at them without being noticeable about it.
Okay.
That's a 16 for me.
Tarur, you do notice that the wood elf priest is nervous as well. But other than that, they all seem pretty set to do this meeting here.
It looks pretty standard.
It looks fairly standard, yes.
Could we get True to do a quick little... Can I catch her eye across the way? Oh, I didn't notice she came in. Never mind.
I mean, you could. Let's see if you do. Anna and Tarur. Let's see.
No, Anna won't notice at this point.
Anna won't notice.
Nah.
So just Tarur.
Yeah. Nope.
Nope. Let's see what she does.
So I use thaumaturgy as well, and I make a leaf rustling noise in next to Tarur's head, and try to draw his attention towards me, saying that I'm there.
I hear a noise and I turn my head and get very confused about where the noise came from, so I look the other way.
It didn't work. I sigh heavily and prepare for political meeting.
I lean forward and look over towards Milosh. Brother,
Yes, Lieutenant.
you should pray.
I should. Should I pray aloud or should I pray to myself?
However the gods move you.
Oh, of course. I take a moment, I gather myself, and then I stand up. Just as the princess is about to bang her gavel, I spread my hands and I begin a prayer. I pray to the twins, the gods of life and death, Taf and Teth, the benevolent and merciful. I pray their blessing upon this session, that wisdom may be granted to everyone here, and insight and understanding and mercy. Thank you, O gracious gods of life and death, for the life that we have and the death we will meet. I thank you.
When Milosh is done with his prayer, I loudly say, Amen.
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 And that was Anna and Mokana number 22. Nope, that's not what we say.
We say, and there you have it.
Another episode is in the books.
Another episode of...
K&K play D&D.
Just in case you were wondering what you were listening to for the last 46 minutes.
That was Anna and Mokana episode number numeral 22.
47 minutes, I miscounted.
How
I was
dare
counting
you?
them each individually.
How dare you? And Milosh even prayed for you to count things correctly.
I don't think that's what Milosh prayed for.
But he prayed.
Did you know that Milosh has a brother named Milosh?
Yes, I did.
Why did you do that?
Why did their parents do that?
I really want to meet the parents of Milosh and Milosh.
What about their younger sister?
Oh no, what's her name?
I don't know yet. I
Oh.
just made it up.
Oh, it's canon now.
Yeah. If you want to help me figure out canon for our lovely world.
No. This outro is a complete dumpster fire. You know how to find us on social media. We love you. Music is by us, and except for Cry Havoc, which is the Havoc, which is the one of the newer tracks on tabletopaudio.com, where we get all of our ambient stuff.
Good stuff.
Yeah, that's all.